October brings the chill in the air, the darkening of nights, and the eerie whisper of Halloween just around the corner. For those of us who might not have romantic plans, but still crave the thrill of the spooky season, what better way to immerse ourselves than diving into the chilling realms of horror games? From the psychological twists and turns, dark corners filled with unknown terror, to indies that are inspired by masterpiece classics and new wave horror experiences. I've got you covered. Tonight, we delve into a list of 10 horror games to play in Halloween if you have no dates. I'm Arcadenaut here, and I will be your host for tonight. Before starting, I would like to thank the Indie Horror Showcase and one of its hosts, Horror Visuals, for showing such hidden gem indie games. Be sure to give it a look if you are aching for more indie horror games. Now, dim the lights and let's descend into the world of virtual horror. World of Horror stands out as a unique and enthralling experience, merging retro aesthetics with modern storytelling to create a captivating journey. Inspired by the works of Junji Ito and H.P. Lovecraft, World of Horror immerses players in one-bit world filled with cosmic horror, mysterious cases, and grotesque creatures that defy the imagination in a rural Japanese town. The art style is a deliberate homage to the old-school era of gaming, capturing the nostalgic feel of early Macintosh games while providing a canvas for the game's unsettling atmosphere. The monochrome visuals and pixel art create a sense of simplicity, but don't let that fool you. World of Horror is complex and sometimes ruthless even. Players can take on the role of many characters, from a journalist to a young student, Yakuza member, and even a Japanese idol. This small Japanese town, which has become the epicenter of a strange and terrifying occurrences, we have series of cases to solve before the arrival of an eldritch god. Each and every choice you make will have consequences. You can be cursed, you can earn allies. The turn-based combat adds a strategic layer to the gameplay, forcing players to think carefully about their choices and actions. On the other hand, the storytelling is one of its standout features, with multiple endings and choices that shape the narrative and how your character survives. World of Horror captures the essence of cosmic horror and the feeling of being a small, insignificant piece in a much larger, malevolent puzzle. The cases themselves are varied and intriguing, offering a mix of detective work, combat, and decision-making that keeps the gameplay fresh and engaging by each run you start. These cases bring out the roguelike aspect of World of Horror, encouraging players to unlock new achievements so that would help them to unlock new challenges and even characters and more. In conclusion, World of Horror is a masterful blend of retro aesthetics and modern storytelling. There is no reason to even hesitate if you're a fan of Lovecraft and dear Junji Ito. Just grab World of Horror and thank me later on. And if you're already playing World of Horror, then let me show you some of the promising indie horror titles that deserve to be in your wishlist. Crow Country is set in the year 1990, and players find themselves in the shoes of Mara Forrest, a young woman on a quest to unravel the mystery of Edward Crow's disappearance. The owner of Crow Country, once a thriving theme park, Crow mysteriously shut down his operation and vanished without a trace 2 years prior to game's events. Mara's venture into the heart of this desolate park sets the stage for a story rich with intrigue, suspense, and exploration of the darkest sides of human nature. What immediately stands out in Crow Country is its incredible atmosphere and visuals. I quickly fell in love with its polygonal Final Fantasy VII-like visuals and the way they captured the horror ambience. The demo took around 30 minutes that involves puzzle solving and survival elements, and as well as some of the lore pieces that would help you to understand the setting you're in. Crow Country presents a strong yet unsettling atmosphere. It is one of the most promising indie horror titles I played recently, made me even remember the times when I was trying to encourage myself to play Resident Evil titles back when I was like 7 or 8. This blend of tension and tranquility is truly unique, and I believe the aesthetic choice of polygonal visuals helped Crow Country to create its own identity for the time being. To be honest, I feel like I can't wait for its release. As for the next, you know I had to include one title from Torture Star Video. Sniper Killer emerges as a gripping and intense experience within horror thriller genre, orchestrated by Black-Eyed Priest and presented under the notorious banner of puppet combos Torture Star Video. A cold-blooded killer with an unerring aim leaves a trail of terror, and a detective is on its trail. We are playing both sides in Sniper Killer. We are both the hunter and the hunt.
Clyde!
Players are thrust into the dual roles of detective comedy and enigmatic sniper killer. The story skillfully unravels after each gruesome kill, as players witness both the relentless determination of the detective and the chilling precision of the sniper killer. You know what Sniper Killer can perform, so it creates a unique, thrilling experience when you're on the scope of the killer trying to survive. Sniper Killer is not a FPS experience, but it's more like an atmospheric mystery horror, I would say. From the grimdark streets of the city to the state carnival, you're on the hunt, you are trying to learn something about this unknown killer. The sense of vulnerability and tension is what makes Sniper Killer unique, bringing out something new and innovative after Black-Eyed Priest's Blood Wash and Night at the Gates of Hell. Definitely recommending those two titles as well if you haven't played them already. One downside of Sniper Killer might be its visuals. Although Sniper Killer is steeped in a retro aesthetic, its ambience felt somewhat lacking when compared to Blood Wash even. This might get better with game's actual release, so it might be best to add this unique experience to your wishlist as well. If you liked Crow Country, then you might as well as be interested in Sorry We Are Closed as well. They are both inspired by classic survival horror experiences. If Crow Country is inspired from Resident Evil, then Sorry We Are Closed is its colorful, Silent Hill inspired sibling. I think it's just beautiful. Atmospheric environments, fixed camera angles, and arcade-style first-person shooter that somewhat made me wanna play Killer 7 again. You will find yourself shift back and forth between the realms of angels and demons, trying to survive, manage your resources, and open your third eye. Along with Crow Country, I feel like Sorry We Are Closed is also one of my favorites among this list. Players step into the shoes of Michelle, a character entangled in a demonic curse and fighting for her freedom, or give in to the charm of the demon that cursed us. The fixed camera angles evoke a sense of nostalgia, and in addition to that, the combat turns into the first-person shooter whenever Michelle aims with her weapons. I really like how the camera moves swiftly between these two angles, and this trend tends to become popular among indie titles recently. Another title that I will mention soon, Holstin, has also similar gameplay mechanic. Last but not least, Sorry We Are Closed offers a unique take on survival horror with its introduction of the third eye mechanic, shifting the area around Michelle into the real world, uncovering hidden secrets, solving intricate puzzles, and revealing the weaknesses of her demonic foes. This third eye mechanic is somewhat relatable to Silent Hill's mirror aspect, helping us learn about the environment and the world setting also. It seems like Michelle will have the choices to shape her journey when the game's completed. Either she will succumb to the antagonist's allure, or she will fight for her own freedom. And with that, let's move on to another indie title with a new twist. Tenebris Somnia is twisted, clever, and has high potential. Inspired by Silent Hill and Resident Evil, it is somewhat feels similar to Fate, the Unholy Trinity, yet it boldly carves its own identity by using retro 2D environment blended with live-action cutscenes. We play as Julia, trying to find her ex-boyfriend, trying to cut the remaining ties with him. As she reaches his room, there is something off. Boyfriend is nowhere around and there are signs of ritualistic activity. To find her ex, Julia also does the same, and the rest, well, the live action speaks for itself. One of the most striking and innovative aspects of Tenebris Somnia is its utilization of cinematic cutscenes. There was only one live action scene as far as I've known in the demo, and I'm really looking forward to see what the developers are cooking for the full release. I want to be caught off guard. I want this experience to be adorned with live action sequences that would haunt me, changing suddenly from 2D retro visuals to its haunting ambience. The demo takes only around 20 minutes to complete. See for yourself, add it to your wishlist. Its potential is remarkable. If you're into 80s and 90s slasher films, Terror at Oakheart might be your cup of tea. Just like in Sniper Killing, we start Terror at Oakheart by learning the villain's side, playing as Teddy. As a side-scrolling, pixel-based indie title, Terror at Oakheart manages to capture the slasher horror narrative. Both the prologue and chapter 1 of the demo present Teddy's motive to be a killer and how he terrorized the small, tranquil community of Oakheart under the influence of a Lovecraftian entity. It seems like the full game will offer the opportunity to take on the roles of various characters for each chapter as Teddy grows into a more sinister being, forcing Oakheart to survive its last days. Side-scrolling gameplay was all about collecting items to solve puzzles and hiding from the pursuing Teddy himself. So I'm looking forward to seeing more from the developers, but in the meantime, I would say Terror at Oakheart offers a 2D side-scrolling survival experience with its atmospheric pixel visuals and unexpected tension. It looks promising. Whether you are dodging Teddy's deadly blows or uncovering the dark secrets of Oakheart, ensures that every moment is filled with gruesome gore and fearful frights. Heartworm is about Sam, a character tormented by the tragic death of her loved ones and her obsessions about contacting those. She eventually finds herself in a mysterious house in the mountains, rumored to be connected to the afterlife. With no one ever returning from the house, she sets on a journey that is heavily inspired by both Resident Evil and Silent Hill. Heartworm's visuals and eerie atmosphere is quite polished. You find yourself in this old, mysterious mansion that is somewhat feels familiar. The tank controls are solid, Sam is easy to control, and you quickly figure out what to do in Heartworm. There's a clock puzzle that is similar to Silent Hill 2's, notes to gather around, Resident Evil type doors to unlock. It sure captures the essence of survival horror with its fixed camera and low-res 3D graphics. But I don't think I can say the same about its survival horror atmosphere. As we move on to this other side, we find ourselves surrounded by these static, pixelated enemies that hinder our movements and then they try to deal damage. I found it frustrating rather than thrilling or challenging, especially if you ever find yourself surrounded by 2 or 3 enemies at the same time. Don't ever bother to kite them around to make an opening, you will probably find yourself stuck and then lose progress. Although Heartworm boasts a deep and psychologically focused narrative with multiple endings to discover, it felt more like a mystery experience rather than a horror one. Using camera as a weapon just like in Fatal Frame sounds interesting, but I felt like it needs more polishing. And speaking of polish, it's time to talk about Holstin. Set in 1992 in an isolated Polish town, Holstin blends atmospheric storytelling with survival horror mechanics, focused on item puzzle solving and action shooting elements just like the one we had in Sorry We Are Closed. Players will step in the shoes of an individual searching for their friend Bartek as we delve deeper into town's mysteries. We quickly realize that something is terribly wrong in this town, and people often say kurva here. The townspeople, buildings and the wildlife are all in the state of slow decay, and just like in Alan Wake, the light is one of our best friends here. Holstin excels in creating an atmospheric setting that is isolating. The pixel art environments are hand-drawn, dynamic lighting and camera rotation allow for an immersive exploration experience. Holstin is sure a visual feast, but it can also be quite frustrating when it comes to its first-person shooter experience and the way it offers the survival challenge. I don't know whose idea was to make both health bar and stamina in the same gauge, but those fun-looking first-person shooter segments turned out to be quite frustrating and challenging at the same time. Didn't enjoy it as much as I expected. But again, it is promising. It has both Polish and English voice acting, and this eerie atmosphere proved itself enough to be on my wishlist. But let's say if you have enough of these demo experiences for today, I have 2 remaining big guns for you, and I'm sure you're not ready for both.
The knife.
And now, I would like you to imagine John Constantine going full Happy Trigger for a minute. Then imagine John Wick, or maybe Max Payne fighting against vampires, werewolves and other supernatural beings for another minute. Yes, there are slow motion dives, yes, there are dual pistols, shotguns and Uzis you can use, and yes, you can heal yourself with painkillers. Welcome to El Paso, elsewhere. Blending the neo-noir genre with supernatural elements to create a game that is both thrilling and visually stunning is El Paso Elsewhere's unique concept. Each floor of the motel brings its own challenges and adversaries, keeping the gameplay fresh and engaging from start to finish as you try to defeat your ex Draculae, trying to save the world. It is not a mindless shooter. It is like sending the Doom Marine into hell and locking the doors. However, what surprised me the most is the narrative and how clever the developers brought out a unique character by using unorthodox cutscenes and narrative aspects. The music goes full Hotline Miami during its peak action moments. You start to hear the main character singing hip-hop. Every shootout feels like a choreographed dance of destruction. It's clever, it's remarkable and mental. El Paso Elsewhere is a must-play if you're looking to take the horror to the next and rather vengeful level. However, if you want to experience a game that is on whole another level, possible on the level of being a game of the year, then give Alan Wake 2 a chance. Alan Wake 2 is genius. It is beautifully crafted, remarkable, terrifying and funny as well. It brings Remedyverse into a whole another level, possibly marking a new era in AAA horror genre. It marks a significant departure from its predecessor, offering a surreal, unnerving experience that stands toe-to-toe with the likes of Silent Hill. Hell, I might even say it, I do think it's like a new wave Silent Hill. The narrative unfolds in the mysterious town of Bright Falls, presenting a bizarre reality where nothing is as it seems. Reminiscent of the TV series like Twin Peaks, you find yourself in the shoes of both FBI agent Saga Anderson and our lovely Alan Wake, trying to grasp the reality between Dark Place and the real world. Saga's journey is rooted in detective work, exploring the eerie town and its odd residents, retreating to her mind place to connect the dots, giving the vibes of TV series like True Detective and Mindhunter. Meanwhile, Alan Wake, on the other hand, offers a darker, more troubled viewpoint. His portions of the game are highlighted as the standout experience, balancing the tension and bizarre humor in true Remedy fashion. You will get to learn more about Remedy's first classic Max Payne, now addressed as Alex Casey. The game cleverly integrates live-action TV segments, adding an extra layer of immersion. Alan's writer room serves as a counterpart to Saga's mind place, allowing him to piece together his own mysterious narrative. You see Alan writing new paragraphs that shape the Dark Place, opening up new paths that would help you to solve puzzles while trying to keep the darkness away. The dark and twisted reflection of Alan Wake's psyche creates an atmosphere of confusion and unease, incorporating influences from David Lynch and Stephen King. There is so much to talk about Alan Wake 2. There is so much I want to talk about Remedy's most recent masterpiece. I still haven't finished with Alan Wake 2, but I feel like it's my Game of the Year nominee for 2023. I might even make a video about Alan Wake 2 after all. I just love surrealism that takes the form of realism and psychological horror that disguises itself as modern daily life. Those are my jam, my bread and butter. And there you have it. If you feel alone, if you have no plans for Halloween, be sure to take a look at the games I prepared for you. Apologies for any promising high potential indie titles that couldn't make it to this video. I promise I will also try to cover them in the future. But for the time being, here's the best segment of Alan Wake 2 as a present.
Still he's a torchbearer, and it couldn't be much clearer. A war meets its warrior, true and right. The darkness within him held her hostage. Had he seen her drowning, would have saved her from the darkness of the lake.
As always, thank you for watching today's video. Follow me on Twitter, join my lovely Discord channel, or consider supporting me on Patreon or YouTube join. I will see you soon in my next video. Stay tuned.